Dear friends, good morning. And today is the 2nd of August 2024. It's another beautiful day. And today I'm going to talk about with you in another milestone video about the political science. Right? So this is all about the democratic governance characteristics. And actually, from my other videos, we already have seen key features of the democratic government are the constitutionalism, right? People's sovereignty, separation of the powers, checks and balances, rules and the law, and human rights, and free and fair, stable elections, and accountability to the people. And we will now discuss. Right? We will now discuss each of these topics in some detail. Right? In this short video, I'm going to demonstrate about that. What is constitutionalism? The constitutionalism is a major principle and value in liberal democracy. Right? You all know about it. It aims actually the maintaining the rules of the law in order to prevent the government from becoming oppressive. Right? That was happened in Sri Lanka in 2021 and 2022. Right? Exactly 2 years ago. So this constitutionalism values the supremacy of the people's law. Right? Judicial system and the court system and the constitution and the parliament. But practically what's happening in Sri Lanka, I'm not going to discuss about it because due to some issues. I am giving you the theory so you can understand and you can think ahead of it, right? In this narrow sense, actually, the constitutionalism is a principle. Actually, it's a kind of a principle, right? This system was introduced in early Greek society and Greek civilization of the Greece, right? Greek civilization, Socrates as well as Plato, right? So Aristotle, thanks for these philosophers, one of the remarkable philosophers in the history, and the principle which is democratic government functions in accordance with the constitution. However, mere presence in a constitution does not ensure the constitutionalism. The constitutionalism calls for a constitutional government where the powers of the government are subject to the people, right? To the limitations. In fact, you can see. In fact, it's in the real constitutions and the real constitutionalism requires these kind of subjection of the governmental power and the legal limits and checks and the balance. This is very important. Thus, in a broad sense of the constitutionalism, and refers refers into some set of the political values and expectations that to prevent overacting, like the extremism, or you can say fascistism, right? So the prevents of the concentration and the state power, presidential power, and through the network of checks and the balance that's must be done, should be done, right? With the commitment and the protecting individual freedom. So I don't know how far in the world this kind of things is happening in this dunya, right? We do not know. And the mechanisms that subject actually the governmental power limitations include the presence of the codified and the written and the constitution and the bills of rights and the separation of the powers and these kind of things widely discussed, right? And by bicameral legislation body, right? And the federalism and the devolution of the power This is very important. These are the terms. These are the passive terms, passive government. We will talk about it in a separate video, in another video, because I don't have time to explain everything at all in a one time, right? So actually, sovereignty of the people and popular sovereignty in this principle, actually, this is the most important thing, right? In the principle of the popular sovereignty actually views the people as the source of the state of power. We call it Srilanka, basically Janata Paramadipatya. This is the source of state power. Actually, accordingly, the institution of the government that can make and execute and adjusting, you can say adjudicating the laws, right? Adjudicating the lawmakers and drive their authority and legitimacy from the people. Right? So, but when they come to the power, it's a different story, right? And there is no other authority superior to the people, right? The idea of the people is ultimate authority, is a foundational principle, concepts of the popular sovereignty. When it comes to the popular sovereignty, is the key component, right? It's a key component of the classical democratic theory. Like Rousseau was a main theorist. Theorist is a Rousseau. You heard about the Rousseau's theory? Rousseau's theory is a general will, well embodies of this idea in early 19th century, right? Actually, general will is the collective political will of all citizens in society, and it is expressed as sovereign, right? So this is very important impact, very important. According to the Rousseau, the idea from the government that embodies the power of sovereignty is republic. Right? This is a new tendency. The new tendency of the world is for the government, actually in Sri Lanka and all these third world countries, governments with the parliamentary sovereignty to move towards forms of the popular sovereignty, right? People sovereignty. For example, the British government has recently incorporated referendum to constitution that the people directly on the question of Scottish independence. Scotland got the independence, and so they have created the new representative assemblies outside the parliament into the Scotland. Wales and the Northern Ireland, as in Northern Ireland is Irish Ireland is separated. It's a separate country. So it has also introduced bills of rights through the legislation. It has been given the rights, right? So there are when you talk about the British politics, these are elements similar to the Republican ideas to popular sovereignty, right? This is very, very important, right? Very important. Actually, what are the separation of powers? If I ask you, what are the separation of power in Montesquieu, in French philosopher? I think my Sinhalese video I have talked about the Montesquieu. Montesquieu is a French philosopher who lived before the French Revolution in 1789. Totally, the revolution happens in 1796 by attacking to the Bastille, and who advocate theory of the separation of powers. Right? His intention actually the purpose a system of government, and alternative to the French autocratic monarchy that would not become trained, and his model was the system of government in England present days, right? So from the France it goes to UK. So the key premises of Montesquieu's analysis is that when the powers of government are concentrated in one institution to another, individually and uniquely, institution or individual, there are no rooms for the freedom of citizens. Actually, you can say present days as well. In contrast, if you can say in contrast, when the powers are not concentrated, the freedom of the citizen is not violated. That's how it goes. But socialism and the Marxist and the communism it differs in a different way. Let me talk about it in a different video because I cannot mix up with everything.
You got mail.
Right? This Montesquieu's theory separation of the power is about the relationship. Actually, the relationship between how the state power organized and the freedom of citizens secured. Those are the key elements, right? These are the key elements actually. So Montesquieu's theory we will talk about in a separate video because honestly, deliberately, I have to make the video shortly. That's how it goes. If I can make a 1 hour video, but it won't be no use of. You will not get benefit of that. By short videos, you can learn more things and it will be grab your mind, right? So see you another great video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye and God bless you.